Hello, can you guys hear me? You You guys hear me? Get a thumbs up if you can. All right, great. Hey, hello, my name is Johnny Cox. I'm the head football coach here at Fort Lewis College, and welcome to our first uh virtual junior day. It's labeled junior day. There are some transfers and maybe even sophomores on here. Don't know exactly the whole makeup, but just want to include you into this junior day format. You know, we got some tips of you know, this format really allows us to have our conference, our college viewed nationally. We got Will Young there, who's in North Carolina. You know, and he's able to come in here and okay, that came in. He's able to view some of the great sites that we have here. I really believe that we are a. I mean, now that you can, the virtual thing is something to do. We're a top five campus in the U.S. And people just don't know it, and you'll see why I'm so excited about that, and why Durango is such a special place, and what we have to do. We definitely have a great product here, a great education, a great situation here. I We will have to kind of say, hey, I want to apologize because it's a Zoom, right? So there could be some uncontrollable things. Like I just heard my daughter. I have four daughters. I see my daughter running around upstairs. So there might be some Zoom things that aren't overly professional, but we'll kind of work through those and understand that we're all in this together. It's kind of semi-formal. We want to be able to communicate Fort Lewis College to you. We really want you to, yeah, keep your mics muted. Okay. We really want to have your cameras on. We really want to see you, even get to know you a little bit just from the first views. We don't really want, I've seen it before when we've done the Zooms and guys are just playing video games the whole time. Really want you to be locked in and kind of take a chance to really kind of get to know this. If you have chat questions, put them in the chat. We'll try to get those answered. I'm not always the best when I'm talking to see them, but we will definitely get those answered throughout. And some of the assistant coaches will be able to really take a look at that. And then just other tips to make it the best is try to put your phone on active speaker mode, meaning like right now, I should kind of be the biggest person talking. And then it will switch to different coaches and they'll be the biggest person talking. And then if you can use landscape mode, I know some of you guys might be on your phones. All the coaches, we're going to use landscape mode to show you kind of the beautiful things around Fort Lewis College. What a unique set, and really to kind of grasp it and see the views. That's the best mode that you possibly can. You can see there we have the camp dates. We'll revisit that later on, but let's go ahead and get things started. I'm gonna send it to I'll be sending it to a bunch of coaches, or a bunch of coaches will be talking to you. But the first thing we want to do is send it out to our defensive coordinator, Spencer Brown. He's at a place called Purgatory, which is a ski resort that is, I don't know, 25 minutes, maybe 35 minutes out of town. When you are a student here, your freshman year, you get a free ski pass, which and ski rentals. You'll get free skis, but you can rent them free of charge. Goes with your student fees. So it's kind of a different atmosphere, or different a thing that we can really that we have a different experience, I should say. And we have kids from Houston that are just loving it. So you got it's the one great thing about us is be able to have an open mind and have a great college experience. Think about those things, and I'll just go ahead and let you. I'll let Coach Brown talk to you here about purgatory and some of the other things you might want to say.
There we go. Thanks, Coach. My name's Spencer Brown. I'm the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach here at Fort Lewis College. I'm going on my third year with Coach Cox. Really enjoyed building the program from the ground up. And like Coach Cox was saying, I get to introduce myself from one of my favorite places in Durango. This is Purgatory Resort, ski and snowboard mountain, about 35 minutes from campus, like Coach said. So we've got 11 lifts here, over 100 trails, 1,600 acres of skiable and snowboard terrain for you to enjoy. Everything from beginner to intermediate to advanced. And I've enjoyed watching a lot of our guys come out here and try it for the first time. I know this past winter I came up here a couple times, and once I saw one of our corners from Tucson getting on skis for the first time. I saw an O lineman from California getting on a snowboard one day. And then we've got a receiver who's actually skied the French Alps, and he's coming up here cruising around having a great time. So it's an awesome opportunity, and I think the guys on our team really enjoy taking advantage of it. Like Coach Cox said, you do get the free lift ticket your first year, and we do have opportunities for people who are new to the sport to use outdoor pursuits. That's a program that we've got on campus that you'll hear a lot about today, but it's through our Student Life Center or our Rec Center on campus. It's a program that's already included with your tuition and fees. So there's no extra cost to renting skis through outdoor pursuits. There's no extra cost to renting snowboards or boots or anything through outdoor pursuits. And not just skis and snowboards, but you'll hear about kayaks, mountain bikes, all the camping equipment you'll ever need, like tents, sleeping bags, or outdoor stoves. So outdoor pursuits is a really great program that really separates us from a lot of other colleges. I apologize. There's our first Zoom interaction right there. It is a little windy up here. It's the last day of the season. They actually just shut down the lift a couple hours ago, and I admit that I got a couple runs in yesterday. We got 10 inches of snow in the last 48 hours, so we really maximized the season this year. Typically goes from the week before Thanksgiving all the way to exams here. So you really get an opportunity to come up here and try your hand at skiing. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about recruiting and about the defensive side of the ball when I see you later on. I'm going to head back down to campus and show you some of the facilities. But right now, I'm going to send it back to Coach Cox. Appreciate it.
Okay, again, you're going to be able to see some of the sites that Durango has. It's an elite area, especially if you like the outdoors, if you like fishing, hiking, snowboarding, whitewater rafting. That we have so many of those things to offer. Okay, on top of that, we have a great education. And so I'm going to send it over to our Dean of Education, Dr. Jenny Trujillo, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about our education offered at Fort Lewis College.
Great. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited to see people here tonight. I'm going to spotlight my screen so that everybody can see. I'll pin myself. Well, yes, I'm Dr. Jenny Trujillo. I'm the Dean of the School of Education. There's actually 3 schools at Fort Lewis College. One is the School of Business. One is the School of Arts and Sciences. And here behind me on my Zoom screen, you can see Chemistry Hall. I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. And then the School of Education, which I oversee, which does include dual enrollment, as well as 5 graduate programs, in addition to the 14 majors that we have in my school. So I have a couple of quick slides, just 4 of them to show you here, to just let you know what kind of incredible things that we have. I know you've already received your welcome from there, but also I just wanted to make sure you knew that some of the things that we have at FLC that you want to be thinking about as you make your college choice for continuing on your education is the opportunity to really think about what graduation means for you. It's so important that you attend a good school, because as a student athlete, the first part of that hyphen is actually the word student. So it's so important that you think about, what are the choices that I have as a student? One of the cool things about Fort Lewis is that there's so many opportunities at our college to think about the kind of job you can get. We have assistance with that. We have about a 95% placement rate. And that's really important coming out of college, is to make sure that you have a place to go and something to do and something that you're passionate about, excited about. You'll have a chance to do internships or volunteering. There's also travel opportunities. and all those kinds of things as well. In addition to that, those many opportunities, I just pulled up this one just to give a few ideas. I know that Coach Cox was just saying a few things about some of our outdoor experiences, but Fort Lewis College is very experiential. So one of the things you can do is learn about adventure education, get to explore all of the area, and do that in a way that can actually earn you a certificate. So snow and avalanche studies is one of the pictures that's showing. That's only 8 classes. It only takes 4 weekends to do that program, and you come out with a certificate for learning about snow and avalanche and being aware of the outdoors in a safe way. But it's also very interesting and a lot of job opportunities. There's also a picture of a brain on this slide because you can do something like psychology, our pre-health program. We started a nursing program you can see there. So in the sciences, one of the things that's really amazing that's showing on the edge of the top corner picture is that we actually have a telescope, for example, that NASA uses. That's one of only 4 in the entire United States, and they use it about once a month. There's some of our other science materials there. Geology, you know, if you go to another school, guess where they pick to come and do their field trips and excursions for learning about geology? They come over here to the Southwest. There's also some students in the lab there. So whether you are interested in being in the outdoors, whether you're interested in the sciences, labs, any of those kinds of things, Fort Lewis College is an incredible place to go to school. Our School of Business is also part of the AASCSB ranking in the top 5%. There's only 5% of schools of business, and that's the CAT School of Business. We just actually received a $10 million donation from an endowed chair that named the school. So now it's called the CAT School of Business. So we have donors because we're really on our way up. As far as the sciences go, just a few years ago, we were second only to CU Boulder, which is an R1 university here in Colorado. So the same way that you have Division I, D1 football, we have R1 in research and academics. And we were second only to them in the state of Colorado for grants awarded. And one of the reasons that we are able to have such outstanding facilities in terms of academics is that we have a very diverse population. We're actually the most diverse public liberal arts college in the United States. We're also ranked top 20 on social mobility, meaning that we have people who come from really all walks of life, and what they can do with their degree upon graduation is really changing their socioeconomic status for them, and even in some cases their families. We are a Native American serving non-tribal institution, but we're also a minority serving institution. So about half our students are students of color, but also people of all backgrounds. Many of them are first generation college students. So what we focus on is serving in academics, meaning that, yes, you can go to a school that says, we've got this much money for you, but what's really going to matter in academics is making sure with all your travel as a student athlete that you can really balance it all. And that means that you want to pick a school that you're going to be able to get a great and really outstanding education. So whether it is in the arts and sciences, I didn't mention music, theater, all those things. We have a beautiful concert hall on our campus. Any of these buildings are places that are going to welcome you. You'll have professors, and I can't tell you how important that is. 99% of the people that are professors at Fort Lewis College have a PhD or the highest degree in their field. And that matters because at some schools, you're going to have TAs, teaching assistants, and they don't have any training in teaching and or in their discipline or field. A lot of times, you don't have access to the person that really you need to talk to for academic assistance, to challenge you, whatever the case may be. So that's one really awesome thing about our professors. And then student life. There's just a lot of great opportunities with our affinity centers. We have over 65 different clubs on campus that you can be a part of. It's true that athletics takes up a lot of your time, but it's really great to get to know some other people across campus as well. So it's a small institution. Any of our buildings are about a 10-minute walk apart from each other, sitting up on a beautiful mesa. Around the rim is about 2.2 miles. And man, when you see not only the academic buildings, but the view from the football stadium, it's incredible. It's truly one of the most beautiful campuses you could ever attend. And lastly, I would say that the academics will outdo really any of the smaller regional universities or colleges that you're looking at. You'll get a better education at FLC. I could promise you that. Thank you. Let me unpin myself. If I can find out where mine. There we go.
Thank you very much, Dr. Trio.
Yeah.
Really appreciate your time. And that just shows that your dedication, taking that time out of your weekend to come show these future Skyhawks, what they're going to get with the education from Fort Lewis College. So thank you very much. Kind of to support what Dr. Trujillo said, I just looked. I went. We'll talk a little bit later about kind of more specifics, but I went to Fort Lewis College, and I always knew that it's a great education, and it's a great situation as far as Durango, Colorado. It's kind of unbeatable. But just recently, I went and looked on kind of U.S. World report where they rank the colleges and universities. I just want to share my screen with some of this stuff that kind of just backs up exactly what some of the research is showing. Hold on real quick here. Let's see. Told you you're gonna have a few of these moments. So here we go. Share the screen. Okay, so you can see there, and this is kind of the areas, the schools in our conference, and U.S. News and World Report have their own way of kind of separating a college from a university. So I'll let you kind of dive into that. I kind of wrote the definitions on there, but kind of in the regional college of the West, you got Mesa ranked 20th and us 23. But there you go, Western Colorado at 74. So I'd even kind of dispute that ranking with Mesa, but that's what it is right now. But I feel like we have if you could dive into deeper in different programs, I think we'd be ranked higher. Okay, but continuing on, just regional universities. So we were considered a college. So in the West, there you have it. New Mexico Highlands. These are schools in our conference. New Mexico Highlands 98, Adams State University at 99, Chadron State at 132. Okay, and then continuing kind of in Midwest. So how they have it broken out, they have Colorado School of Mines tied at 26. They have Black Hills State tied at 145, and then nationally, Colorado School of Mines is ranked 76. So they're kind of in a different category, feels like, because they have doctoral programs or different things like that. But yes, I mean, according to their rankings, that's it. And then just some other ranked schools that we've kind of recruited against. Wanted to make sure that we see those, and hopefully you guys can see the screen. But Eastern New Mexico at 91, and then Western New Mexico, for some reason, they have the 105 to 115. Okay, Nebraska Kearney at 29, Sioux Falls at 76, Washburn at 103, Fort Hays at 109, University of Jamestown, we've recently kind of battled to get with them at 112 in their rankings, Minot State at 120, and Michigan Tech at 151. And so just understand that, hey, what are you getting at Fort Lewis College? According to U.S. News and World Report, you're getting the 23, that would be ranked 23 in the standings. So obviously a quality education, and you got to get the best education, you got to put yourself, you got to give a lot, meaning a lot of time and hours and stuff like that. But it is, you'll be able to graduate with a degree up here, being qualified and trained to accomplish great things in your life. Okay. So we'll continue on. We have Coach Bible. I'm going to send you to him. He's our recruiting coordinator, special teams coordinator, and also our defensive backs coach. So go ahead, Coach Bible.
All right, perfect. And I think you still sharing that screen, Coach? All right, there we go. Perfect. So yeah, as Coach alluded to, my name is Jordan Bible. So I'm originally from Denver, Colorado. Played my football up at the University of Northern Colorado. So yes, I'm the special teams coordinator as well as the defensive backs coach. So just talking a little bit of ball, just generally, of course, what I'm looking for in recruiting defensive backs. kind of twofold within a few different positions that we have in the back end. Coach Brown will talk about the 4-2-5 we're in, so 5 defensive backs. But essentially, corners and nickels, I'm looking for really good feet, hips. You know, you got to be able to man cover basically within the scheme of what our defense entails. We do a lot, multiples, coach will talk about, but if you can't man cover at this level, it's going to be pretty tough for you to fit into those positions. When it comes to safeties, same, you're going to be able to cover a lot of man. So you got to have the feet and the hips, but I see this as one of our more versatile, better football players overall. I just look to recruit the best football players, whether that's transitioning you from a quarterback or, you know, a linebacker, whatever it is. 1 minute you have to be guarding out on the perimeter, and the next play you might have to fit a B gap and go tackle a running back and help us in our run game. So that's got to be a really aggressive and physical football player for us as well. So that's just a quick summary of kind of initially when I'm breaking down film, some of the things that I'm looking at. All right. Now, as Coach did allude to, so I actually was the recruiting coordinator, and now I'm taking over special teams, going to be giving up that title, but wanted to talk a little bit just about where our overall recruiting philosophy lays just at Fort Lewis College. So essentially, us as a staff, we decided in coming in that we were going to be based in going out and recruiting the best high school athletes that we could. And I say that just because that's kind of now in this age of the transfer portal, not what you find everywhere. And yeah, we will. I'll talk a little bit about it later. About we'll get some transfers and some JUCO athletes in here. But once again, 90% plus of our athletes coming in on any given year are going to be high school graduating seniors. You know? So that's really where we're based. When it comes deeper into that philosophy, there's kind of 2 things that I look fundamentally that our values lie within. The first is going to be of which we're looking to recruit very high character young men. You know, we're looking for guys that once again are going to be able to come into a program, get to understand the system, the process. Of course, we're going to navigate and guide you the best that we can, but we want to be able to grow this thing and keep young men in that really we can grow a trust with. So high character guys, as well as the next thing would be relationals. I think you're going to get that today and seeing and talking, hearing from the different coaches. We really base a lot of our recruiting and building relations, not only with the student athletes, but with their families as well. Just once again, helps us read into that high character, kind of everybody be very transparent in what this relationship is going to look like. And if it's the best for both parties, you know, we really feel good about what that can mean. Once again, letting players come in 4 or 5 years, string together a good career for themselves, as well as playing in a system, having a process. We truly believe that helps, you know, make us a really good football program. So with that being said, like I said, we are going to be recruiting from time to time. I believe there are a couple transfer guys in here that went to other schools or JUCO guys that are on here that we will recruit from time to time. Those still are going to have to be guys that for the most part, we have some kind of previous relationship with, right? We've recruited them out of high school. We had eyes on them. We know their coaches. We've met them, talked to their parents, and for whatever reason, they're circling it back to us. So that's really, once again, fits into kind of our value system of how we go about recruiting. So definitely a great opportunity for some high school athletes to still come to Fort Lewis, make a home for themselves, make a great career, right? So with that being said, the last thing that I really have is just my recruiting area. Each coach is going to basically finish up by just letting you know which recruiting area they're in. All right. And with that, my main area of focus is going to be the Denver metro area. I'm pretty spread out throughout it. So I cover everything from really the true like downtown Denver DPS, APS schools down through Southeast Aurora, down at Parker, and then up northwest a little bit through the Arvada area. So I kind of generate and oversee all of Colorado in the Denver metro area, but that's really where I'm based at, as well as I have some of our ancillary areas such as California, kind of looking into the Pacific Northwest, and a lot of different states. So that's kind of a little bit about me, about the recruiting process. Defensive backs, I think summarizing a lot of what I'm working in. So if there's ever any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I also will be in the chat. So if there's questions, throw them in there. So with that, I'm going to pass things over to our offensive coordinator, Coach Grindy.
All right, how's everybody doing? Coach Bible, can you throw me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Perfect. All right, welcome everybody. Appreciate it, Coach, and really a ton of good information you guys just got there. Just to introduce myself, I am John Grindy. I'm the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach here at the Fort. And right now, coming to you from the west side of campus here, this is actually our Sky Steps. Right, you can see there's some people going up and down right now. Those steps go right down to our campus, or from campus to downtown. Right, so it's within walking distance there. A little bit about myself. So I've been coaching college football for 12 years now. Okay, this is my fourth stop. I was fortunate to play college ball at the Division II level. I played at the University of Central Missouri, and my whole childhood I was actually raised by a college football coach. So he coached for a long time at the college level and some at the high school level. And you'll hear more about him here in a little bit. But growing up as a coach's kid, I knew this is always what I wanted to do, right? Just being around the game, how it helps grow young men and grow a team atmosphere and a family that way. So more about me. I am the academics coordinator here. You heard way more than I know about the school from Dr. Trujillo and Coach Cox with all those rankings and things. Those are high level statistics that you guys heard. From us though, we do provide a lot of support when it comes to the football coaching staff, right? In our football program and athletics department in general. So a few things that we do football specific. Number one is our study hall. Okay, so we do study hall for all of our newcomers. That is 3 hours a week, and it'll be at some different times, but we go for 1 hour per day, 3 days a week. And basically, if you're a newcomer, you're in it no matter what, so that you can start off on the right foot. But we have you put your phone away. I know it's crazy, but we have you in a room where you have access to technology, but you're able to cut out distractions for that 1 hour. And you'll be amazed at the work you can get done in just an hour's time when you cut those distractions out. Okay. The second thing we do for support, we have you send out twice a semester what we call progress reports. So our progress reports detail a lot of things, but mainly your attendance, your participation in the class, your assignments, right, as well as the grade that you have in that class. Now, most teachers will also provide the opportunity for improvement, right? So let's say you turn 2 assignments in late and they weren't counted for credit, but the teacher then adds a note that, hey, you can attend an extra event for an extra credit opportunity. They don't always extend those to every student, but they will extend help when you send that progress report and you say, hey, I'd like to know how I can be successful here. Okay. The last thing that we really do as a coaching staff, we meet with our players at least once a week, right? If not a couple times a week, to check on grades, to check on you personally, as well as help you with time management. We'll help you work on your planners, right? You'll learn how to fill out a planner and be organized that way. But we'll sit down with you. Here's the kicker, and we think this is really important, is we do that with our position group all the time. But these specific groups will not be with your position coach, right? So I might meet with 2 DBs, a wide receiver, linebacker, and 2 defensive linemen once a week, and it's for 10 minutes. Hey, let's get to know each other on top of how can I do better in maybe this class or that class, right? Okay, the last part of our support, and it's not from our coaching staff, but it's from our campus, is our peer education center. Okay, that is located in our library, but it gives you access to tutoring just about all the time, right? You'll obviously have to set up specific times with tutors, but it's paid for by the college. So you don't have to pay out of pocket for extra help. That is located in the library. You go in, you might go and have them write up your paper. Sorry, not write it for you, but write up with red pen what you need to fix, right? Also going in for help in math, right? They have a math center as well. The last part that they do that I think is really cool is they will also do technology rentals. So, you bring in a laptop and, hey, 2 weeks into class, my laptop broke, right? Or it quit charging, something happened. Okay, they'll rent you a laptop so that you have access to the technology that you need to be successful. All right. we have a lot of goals in our program, but academically, number one goal is to graduate, right? We want to do it with a team GPA of 2.8 or higher. Okay. We want no D's or F's on the transcript, and we don't want to miss any classes, right? So a few simple goals. But we found, even with those progress reports, if you go to class and you turn your work in on time, you got a great chance of getting a college degree. And that's huge. All right. Last thing I'm going to do here is flip my camera around and just kind of show you this gorgeous view, right? I'm really fortunate to be here at Fort Lewis. This is one of the many great views on our campus, but we're really excited about the future of this program, where this thing's going with guys like yourself. All right. So I'll be back here in a few minutes to talk a little bit more football specifics. But for now, it truly is my honor to introduce you to our defensive line coach, who also raised me, Coach G.
Greetings, everyone, and thank you. Can everybody hear me? Fantastic. Thank you, Coach Grindy, for that introduction. I am Scott Grindy, but they call me Coach G here. You can see why, with the same last name, and what an honor it is to be coaching with one of my sons. I have the honor and privilege of being a part of the best staff in the country, and I get to coach the defensive line. This is what we're looking for at the defensive line, defensive end position. I want big, strong, fast, powerful, tough football players. We're also wanting guys who have a motor, who give relentless effort and love football. We want defensive linemen who want to be outstanding students, who want to get better every day, and are good people of character. Just so you know, I recruit in the Colorado Springs area, the Pueblo area, and the rest of the south central portion of the state of Colorado. I am also the camp coordinator at Fort Lewis College. With that being said, be on the lookout for information about our elite prospect camps that we are holding this summer. You can actually sign up right now by going to the Fort Lewis College football camps page, and you'll see the tabs to do that. We look forward to seeing you at these opportunities later in the summer. I am currently standing above the Animas River today in Durango, and I am 5 minutes from our campus. I want to talk to you about the incredible outdoor recreational activities that are available to you in this beautiful area. We have hundreds of miles of trails for hiking, walking, running, and biking. If you like a big challenge, you can climb one of our 54 14ers, which are 14,000 feet or higher peaks in the state. 19 of these impressive mountains are within 2 hours of Durango. As I watch this amazing river, I'm reminded that we have some of the best fishing and hunting in America right here. You can kayak, paddleboard, canoe, or go rafting on this and many other rivers, streams, and lakes in the area. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, rafting was one of the funnest things I've ever done in my life. Thank you for joining us today. As you enjoy this gorgeous view, allow me to introduce our outstanding Director of Football Operations, Conrad Wallace. Go Skyhawks!
All right. Thank you, Coach G. Really appreciate that. So, hey, guys, my name is Conrad Wallace. I'm standing here in downtown Durango, and I'm going to give you guys a little glimpse of our downtown and our main street here. So I'm actually standing at 11th Street Station, which is, as you can see, we got food trucks, patios, live music usually going on the weekends. So We actually just had a few Fort Lewis athletics employees hanging out over here that just took off. So good little spot on the edge of downtown. And I'll talk a little more and show you guys a little more of Main Street here in just a minute. But a little about myself. I am the director of football operations here, as Coach G said. So I do not coach a position group, but I rather serve in a general management role, which really is a blessing, I feel, for the program because not many D2 schools have full-time DFOs. So it really gives us a leg up. And I feel it allows our position coaches and our coordinators to do what they do best, which is coach their position group. So kind of try to take as much off their plates as possible. As you can see, we're all busy guys around here. A little about myself, how I ended up in Durango. I'm originally from Kansas City, Kansas, where I played college baseball at an NAIA school there, Baker University. Stayed in the state for a little bit, coaching some high school ball, and then got my start in college athletics as a career, working for the football program at the University of Northern Colorado, and then most recently, Colorado State up in Fort Collins. So kind of football operations and recruiting background there, which I feel really has helped me mesh in here and kind of get this program going with some of the great coaches that you've met. So with that said, I'm going to flip my camera and kind of show you guys a little of the historic downtown here. So as I said, I'm standing at 11th Street Station. Downtown Durango has over 200 restaurants, shops, cafes, art galleries, all types of businesses. And one of the most unique things about downtown Durango is there are no chains. Everything down here in historic downtown is an independent business, a mom and pop store, a family-owned restaurant. And the community's really done a great job of supporting us. And we have some really cool partnerships with restaurants and t-shirt shops and all that good stuff around town. Okay, so what I want to do next is, I feel like my phone's getting a little dark on you guys, but I want to show you the train, the historic Durango Silverton steam engine, which is a worldwide attraction, brings in tourists from all over the world every summer to see this train. The station's kind of a few blocks down on the edge of Main Street, but what it does is a beautiful view. And this train will go through the San Juan Forest and the San Juan National Park. So you kind of see this steam engine that goes blowing through town up into those mountains. So one of the biggest tourist attractions in town. And like I said, the architecture here is very historic. A lot of downtown Durango maintains their image from the late 1800s. So very cool place down here. Just wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse before sending it back to Coach John Grindy to talk a little offense with you guys. Appreciate your time and excited everybody's here.
All right. Thanks, Coach Wallace. All right, everybody, I'm back for a little bit. So I'm actually standing right in the middle of campus here. And it was about a 3 or 4 minute walk from the Sky Steps, which is on the edge of campus. So I'm just showing you the ease of access there. Behind me is actually our dorm quad. So the majority of our dorm housing is right here on campus next to the center. And then over here is Schlesman Hall, which is our brand new $34 million exercise physiology lab. A lot of our student athletes are in some type of exercise science major, all right? Right in kind of the center of campus, and it's a little bit bright there, but is our clock tower. And that's really a well-known landmark for us. Beautiful view of the clock tower from all sides of campus. So I'm actually going to walk through the clock tower and make it to a couple more locations. But while we walk, wanted to talk about offense and kind of our philosophy a little bit. So offensively, the first thing we talk about is being tough playmakers, right? So we define that for our guys is we want tough guys that are going to be disciplined. We protect the football. We run the ball downhill. We want to be kind of that physical toughness that teams really feel when they wake up the next day after playing us. Okay. And then the playmaker side of things really covers the majority of what we do on offense. And that's try to be as multiple as possible. What that means is we're going to be multiple with our shifts, our motions, our formations, and very specific personnel groupings to utilize all of our playmakers, right? And what that means is we might have an offensive lineman in as a tight end to utilize his playmaking ability, right? We may even have a running back in as a wide receiver. We may have a really fast wideout end that all he does is run jet motions and gets the ball with that jet motion once in a while. Okay, so everyone has a role in our offense. Obviously, you have to be able to earn that with some toughness and playmaking ability. Okay, so offensively, we talk about keys to success every week. And we really believe that these 6 things can determine if you're in a position to win a football game or not. Okay. And we put goals on them. We evaluate it every week with our goal boards. Number 1 is great ball security. You have to play with great ball security in order to win. Okay. Number 2 is creating explosive plays. And that is a run of 10 or more yards or a pass of 15 or more yards. Okay. A lot of what that takes is extra effort, right? Whether it's the guy carrying the football or his buddy blocking for him down the field. All right. The next one is winning third down. Okay, the key to being great on third down is being great on first and second down so that third downs are more achievable. All right. The next one is protect the quarterback. We got to keep the quarterback clean, and that is an 11-man job, right? Quarterbacks included. They've got to get the ball out on time, have their eyes in the right spot. Wideouts have to run the right route at the right depth, right? Running backs are in protection as well. Obviously, offensive line, which is my group, is usually the one to blame, right? But they're the ones that have the most right job there with 5 of them on the field. Okay. The next one, key to success is scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Okay. Scoring touchdowns in the red zone is huge. It's really about offensive efficiency, right? If we get down inside the 20-yard line, we've got to score. Now, we always say end every series in a kick. That means we're taking care of the football. We're either punting, right, or we're kicking a field goal or an extra point. And especially in the red zone is when that's important. Can't have penalties or ball security issues that take us out of field position there. All right. When we look for an offensive player, those are the type of things we look for, right? We look for tough kids who make plays, right? Speed, size, all of those things are all important, but you got to have toughness and you got to have some playmaking ability. Okay. When it comes to offensive line, I have a lot of things I look for, right? Size, arm length, wingspan, hand size even, right? Obviously a little bit of physicality and strength as well as flexibility. But the 2 things that are really separators for me as a recruiter of offensive linemen are your feet, right? So how fast are your feet and your nasty mentality, okay? And those are 2 things that if you don't have those, you better have a lot of other things that offset that. You got to have great feet and you got to have a nasty mentality to be great at this level. Okay. All right. So I've been talking learned a little bit about us, but I'm now in our student unit and I'd like to show you guys around a little bit here. So a lot of these rooms here are student services. We've got some game rooms over there, game area. This is a lot of our service desk where you come with housing questions, things like that. And then a big lounge area here, walking up to our dining hall, which in my opinion is one of the best dining halls I've been around at the college level. Okay. Upstairs, we have a rocket grill that's open till I believe 10:30 at night. Coaching staff has hit that up several times. But just wanted to give you guys a peek at our cafeteria real quick. All right. So a lot of buffet options. It's a little slow right now on the weekend going into finals week. I think most of the students are in the library, but just wanted to show you some of the quality here of our dining hall. Okay. Really, really appreciate all you guys joining us. Hope to keep these relationships going within recruiting. So let us know if you have any questions at all. But now I'm going to send it all the way down to Farmington, New Mexico, to our wide receivers coach, Coach.
All right, how's everybody doing? So I am Coach Donnie Moore, and as you can see, I'm in Farmington with Dick's Sporting Goods right here behind me. I coach the receivers, and I actually have been coaching for 8 years, and I actually played my ball at Northern Colorado with Coach Bible. Some of the things that I look for in a receiver, and I'll kind of list them off and then I'll talk through them. First, speed. Now look at your ball skills. Now look at your playmaking ability, your fluid movements and agility, your physical attributes, as well as your 50-50 ball, how you compete for 50-50 balls. So the first thing, speed. I look at your burst, your acceleration, and your top end speed. From there, I look at the ball skills and I try to see, okay, is he catching the ball with his hands? Is he adjusting to the ball? If it's over his backside shoulder, can he adjust to that? From there, we look at your playmaking ability. Are you making people miss? And that kind of ties a little bit into the agility as well. Are you making people miss? How's your run after catch? After that, we look at your fluid movements. In your transition, are you getting in and out of your breaks fast enough and beating the DB out of that break? Then I look at your physical attributes. Are you physical at the point of attack? Are you attacking the ball every time that you get in front of a DB? And then obviously that ties into the competing for 50-50 balls. Are you catching it over the DB? Are you winning every ball that you can? Are you making those 100% balls for yourself? A little bit more about recruiting. My area of recruiting is Southwest Denver. That is my recruiting area in Colorado, which includes like Littleton, Castle Rock, Lakewood, and Highlands Ranch. And then in Arizona, I also have the East Valley, which includes like Queen Creek, Gilbert, Chandler, and Mesa. So those are the biggest recruiting areas for me. And and obviously anyone who sends their stuff out to us, we always look at it. So here in Farmington, it's a little bit different, and I'll try to flip my camera here so that everybody can see. So it's not flipping, but that's okay. So basically, as you can see, I'm in front of a Target here. But as you can see, they're Dick's Sporting Goods. That's where a lot of our guys go to get their gear, their visors, their socks, their cleats. But they also have a lot of different options. It's almost like a big city feel here. As far as shopping opportunities are concerned, you got your Chick-fil-A, you have your Five Guys, you have Crumble Cookie right down the hill, you have Outback right here, and obviously Chili's. There's Buffalo Wild Wings. There's a multitude of things down here as far as restaurants are concerned, and also as far as shopping opportunities for clothes and things like that. But other than that, I don't have a lot more for you. So I'm actually going to send this back to Coach Brown, who's going to talk a little bit about defense.
Thanks, Coach Moore. I appreciate it. I made it back to campus. I'm actually on our practice fields right now. And I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I don't know if anybody's got a better view than we do from our practice fields every single day. We've got 2 full fields, plenty of space up here. Almost a quarter of our campus is dedicated to athletics facilities. And I think you'll hear a little bit from Coach Cox later about a lot of the improvements that we've got going on. You can see behind me, we've actually got a lot of our student athletes over here who are involved in FCA. So there's plenty of opportunities for you to get around other student athletes while you're here on campus. I'm going to walk and talk a little bit about our defense, what we're looking for, and what we do schematically. So first off, we are a 4-2-5 defense, which means that we have 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs on the field most of the time. Depending on personnel packages, we can get into 4-3 packages with 3 linebackers and 4 defensive backs. And then even this year, we started experimenting with a little bit of 3-3-5 work, trying to get some speed on the field on third downs. But we'll be a little bit variable, a little bit multiple, and I think you'll see that all of our coaches really pride ourselves on being great teachers, teaching you techniques, teaching you situations to use them, and then making the complicated less complex. So a lot of what we call same as teaching. We want to be a fast and physical defense. You'll hear a lot of what we prioritize on the defensive side. Really counteracts what Coach Grindy is trying to do on the offensive side. We believe first down is the most important down because if we can get people in second and long, third and long, we're going to have a lot more success on third down. We start with trying to stop the run. That's our number 1 priority and what we really hang our hats on. That involves us getting lined up, being able to know the play before the play is coming, understanding what other offenses are trying to do to us schematically, and then being physical at the point of attack, playing across the line of scrimmage. We really value our defensive linemen being playmakers. You're not just going to be block eaters like a lot of teams in our conference are. You'll see a lot of teams use a 3-4 or a 3-3-5 defense and encourage those D linemen to just take up blocks and let the linebackers make plays. Not in our defense. Our D linemen need to be disruptive. They need to be upfield. They need to be violent. They need to be physical. Linebackers are going to have to be incredibly smart. You're also going to have to be physical. When I'm watching your tape, I want to see big knockback tackles. I want to see plays made, not just rodeo tackles, maybe getting guys down for 4-yard gains. I want to see someone going backwards. I want to see the ball disrupted, somebody who's really impacting a game. A lot of times our safeties will be the leading tacklers on the team. We call them linebackers from depth. You're going to have to get in the mix in the pass game, but you can't just play 7-on-7 football here. You got to get into it and get physical with some of the running backs and quarterbacks. And if you got a knack, I'll bring you off the edge in a blitz. We'll have some fun with you. And then our corners and nickel, like Coach Bible was talking about, y'all need to be dynamic cover guys. We'll take care of you. We'll change up the coverages, but you need to be the type of guy who walks out there and is ready for a one-on-one every single play, and then be a dominant ball hawk when you do get those zone opportunities. So we're excited about what we're building here. I want to show you a little bit of our facilities. So right behind me is our most recent addition. We just got this new scoreboard right at the beginning of last season. It was one of the first promises that our athletic director made, and he came through with it. It's fantastic. We get to see all of the great highlight plays show up on there, and we look forward to putting more of them on the screen this season. As we walk around here, you can see behind me some of our athletic facilities. I'll try to get a little bit closer, but Coach Cox will be able to talk about some of these. We're getting a lot of new improvements. Most notably is our new weight room that we're getting in. Should be ready by January of next year. It's going to be fantastic with 10,000 square feet. We're going to have 30 yards of turf, 15 racks, tons of space for our football team to continue to develop as we get better and better in our conference. Right now, we're getting a new facelift on our athletic training room, which should start here in the next week as everybody starts to leave campus for after exams. And that's going to be ready to go probably by the month of June as all the new freshmen start to come in. So lots of great improvements around here. Coach Cox will have a short presentation for you just to tell you a little bit more about it, give you a lot more details. So why don't I send it over his way? Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sending it over. Great job showing everybody the details. Just some quick notes just to follow up or things that just want to make sure that we mention. First of all, just talking to Jenny Trujillo, we were ranked 23rd and Mesa was ranked 20th in the showings that I showed you for the U.S. World News and World Report. And she said the difference is the amount of online classes that they offer. We've learned through COVID that our philosophy is going to be a lot of in-person classes. So that's maybe the difference for the ranking. Also, Coach Greeny pointed out that our the Rocket Grill is open till 10:30 at night. We've actually have moved over from like Sodexo, and that was kind of the Rocket. We got a new provider, and it was going to be very exciting with different shakes on campus, 24 hours of food, availability on campus. So you should be able to get big, being stronger throughout your process. Okay. So I might be, if I think some others, I might throw those in kind of randomly. One thing I want to talk to you about is that, hey, I coach the quarterbacks, right? And what I look for with the quarterbacks, one is being smart, grades do matter. It can't be like 2.0 guy and be at kind of the top of our list. So you got guys that are going to take that serious. We talk about leadership. We'll talk to your coaches about that. Really want guys that are excited about getting in front of guys and leading guys the right way, all in type of guys. And then on the field, hey, accurate. You look at the film, you got to be accurate. And I know it's highlight tape, so it's most of those throws are going to be accurate, but being able to kind of judge those and decipher those between the different throws. Quick release is very important. And then also, hey, being able to be mobile behind the field mobility and also down the field mobility. So we'll look at those attributes and then, put our best quarterback, try to look at our best quarterback possible. But then also, if you don't have everything, then, figure out a way, hey, can we win with this guy because he's an elite, runner? Or is he an elite passer? Maybe he's not as good mobility. We just try to figure that out. We do like guys that could throw more than run, if that makes sense. Okay, so just continuing on, just a real quick summary. I want to share my screen here. I got a few things I just want to touch base and just really want to make sure that you understand and your parents understand. Can you guys see my screen? Thumbs up. Trayvon Polk. There you go. I like you, man. All right. So just a little bit about myself and just really quick. Yeah, I'm the head coach here. Been a blessing. I grew up in Aurora, Colorado, came down to Fort Lewis, really loved it, and really set me up for the rest of my life. Was able to play here, went to the Green Bay Packers camp and then, Orlando Predators, and then started a coaching career here. And, I always thought like, oh, this place is unbelievable. We got the school, we got the area. I thought our facilities weren't the greatest, but when I compared it to everybody else in the conference, I was like, well, overall, this is a way better place. But, we weren't the best team. It was kind of confusing to me. But then, then I just started coaching, I was able to coach great institutions. North Dakota State went there for graduate school, University of Texas. Continued on to College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Mass. And then after that, got a chance to coach in the NFL. Coached the Tampa Bay Bucks for a year, 3 years at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And my last year there, I was coaching the Whiteouts in the NFL. So great accomplishment that way. Left there, we got fired, then just leave. They fired the coaching staff after Jack Del Rio. Ended up at North Carolina A&T at HBCU. one of the best HBCUs. We had a really good season there. And then, well, then, you know, I have 4 daughters. So me and my wife got, started raising our kids in North Carolina, the UNC Pembroke. And it was a great opportunity there. And we did that for 9 years. And then, you know, Fort Lewis College called me and said, "Hey, do you want to be the head coach?" And I was like, well, you know, I don't want to just be a coach. I know the program has kind of been up and down, you know, and throughout the time I kind of heard like what the deficiencies are. And so, you know, when they asked me to be the head coach, I was like, well, there's a few things that we got to really have. You know, first, hey, where are we with facility improvements? And you know, the first thing that they said is like, hey, we're getting a new scoreboard. We're getting a new scoreboard, we're gonna get a new weight room, a 10,000 square foot weight room, and we're going to be able to and there's a plan in place for us to get a new turf field, lights, and an indoor, you know. And with those things, you know, I thought facilities was behind, you know, that puts us right in the mix. That puts us right in the mix. So I was really excited about that. I said, hey, you know, we need to stabilize our coaching positions. We got to have more full-time coaches, and boom, you know, they got those and really supported those positions, right? And then scholarship wise, you know, I'd find out through the years that the reason why we weren't very good or consistently good is that the scholarships weren't at the same level as everybody else. Well, that's really actually wasn't the case for a little bit. The scholarship level is very comparable. You know, we're right there towards the top of our conference as far as being able to offer scholarships. So so all that led to us coming in as a staff and really building the program up. The previous staff, for maybe like, I don't know, it might be 15 years, did not recruit high school kids. The coach had a high connection to junior college in California, and for like, he was like 9 years of it. And then, you know, several years after that, the next coach was trying to make it the best junior college option possible. It's just a different philosophy, you know, than what we have. Not necessarily wrong, it's just different, right? So we're building it from the ground up with high quality players, develop them, give them a system, have a college experience. We want you to choose Fort Lewis College and graduate from Fort Lewis College. If you're a good player, be a good player for us. If you're a bad player, get better. You know, don't switch. Don't just all of a sudden give up. You know, just persevere through whatever it is, you know, and let's have a great team together. And so I want to kind of take you through some of these slides here real quick. You know, there's my family, there's my daughters who are in the background kind of laughing, but they haven't been that much of a distraction as of yet. Okay, so continuing on, just some of these things right here. Here, oh, this is the scoreboard that you saw. This is what this is the first rendition of what they showed me. And just to kind of show you that, hey, things are getting done. It's just not empty promises. And then here's the look at what the weight room is going to look like inside, you know, 10,000 square feet. There's going to be enough racks to be able to have our whole team in there. Kind of a side note, when I got there, when I took over the program, or we took over the program several years ago. Oh, hold on a sec. Sorry. Let me share. Hold on a sec. Weren't seeing the slides. You guys are supposed to say something, but now you did. There we go. Share screen. Boom. Okay. Trayvon, you seeing the slides now? Okay, man. You're gonna let me down before. You should have told me before. Okay. All right. So, like I said, those are my buddies from Overland. I actually came down as an engineer major and switched to being a college football coach. But that's the great thing about going to a school like Fort Lewis, where you can, start out one way and find yourself and figure out what's the best option. So you might come in as a PE teacher and decide you want to be a doctor. Like, okay, I really love this part of the anatomy. It just has the broad range of degrees that if you can excel, you can get you can definitely fulfill what you want to be as far as your career. Here's the the slideshow I was telling you, where they kind of presented, and you just saw the completion of it. Here is what I was talking about as far as the weight room, being able to look at that and see like, hey, we'll be able to put our whole team in there. We have new racks, a fuel station you'll see in the middle, or a fuel station will be there. You'll also be able to see a track in the middle, be able to do our speed and agility warm-ups in the middle of our weight room. So you can really necessarily see where they're at right now. We're really excited about this 10,000 square foot weight room. It's a side note, like I said, when we took over the program, there's like 40 guys in the team on spring ball. We've just finished spring ball, and there is 93 guys right now on the team. We're recruiting we have a class of probably like 47 coming in. So depends on how that all shakes out. But, we got a way bigger team, a lot better talent, and we're just developing them, from the ground up. But there's a look right there. Okay. And then now here's the insight. You got to kind of look. Okay. If you look at the top of the slide, that it was our pool, right? It was our pool. We've now filled in the pool. If you look at the bottom of the slide, we filled in the pool, just kind of showing the progress of that. We know we feel like it's definitely going to be functional by January. We're hoping it's going to be complete actually by December when the kids leave and they'll come back. So when you guys come on your kind of official recruiting visits, it should be done, ready to go. It'll be a big plus. So here's one thing we got to touch on, just that that once we lost a recruit who loved Fort Lewis, but he didn't want to, or he wanted to go to the NFL. And I was like, well, that's the reason why you didn't choose. You guys didn't talk about it. Like, oh, just so you know, you can go from the NFL from anywhere, right? You just got to have an opportunity. You got to be big. You got to be fast. You can't be slow and weak and want to go NFL. You're not gonna have that opportunity. But it's just like anything else. Our scouts come, or the Bledsoe scout comes in April of your junior year. You run. He asks us questions. And if you have those type of qualities that they're looking for, then they're going to be on your radar. But if you're not tall enough, fast enough, good enough, you're not going to be on there. So I don't want to promise you anything like that. As far as like anybody, we can put guys in the league no matter what. But if you are big enough, fast enough, and strong enough, you'll get your opportunity here. So that's a true statement. You get your opportunity from anywhere, but just understand that we're part of that. So you really find a place where you can develop into being your best is key. If that's your goal, if it's not that big a deal. And then just highlighting some of the NFL connections. Coach Bradley, defensive coordinator, for the Colts, he used to coach here. Robert Prince, wide receiver coach for the Cowboys, he used to coach here. Todd Wash now he's a former head coach here. Now he's a D-line coach at the Carolina Panthers, actually. And then Tim Jenkins, I don't know if you heard of Jenkins Elite. He's an alumni from here, went to the Rams. But strong possibilities, strong opportunities, and strong connection to the NFL. If that happens to be your case, some of those coaches I've coached with definitely have a good communication with those guys. Okay, continuing on. Last year from our team, we had two guys go to the IFL, playing for the Sioux Falls, or had tryouts with the Sioux Falls Storm, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars. Or sorry, Jacksonville Sharks, not the Jags. Okay, and then just understand this. This is our philosophy: is that we hold kids accountable for doing the right thing. So, retention is huge. Okay. We want players to grow in our system, grow in the weight room, and they grow and they compete with each other within their position groups. But they also grow in the classroom and grow within our program when they understand the expectations. We've actually spent 2 years putting down the foundation of what the expectations is and growing our culture. And that's the expectation is to go to class, treat people with dignity. Everything's mandatory, you know, practice, class, training room sessions, you know, doing what you're supposed to do. And if you don't, then we punish you or we hold you accountable. I guess that's the proper way to say. You know, if you're Trayvon, if you're less than 5 minutes late, we have, hey, you got up downs, right? And if you're over 5 minutes late, hey, we always call it 5:15. You know, that means you're up at 5:15 on Tuesday morning and you're running, right? And that's our culture, you know. And it's that's the expectation, and that's how we hold kids accountable for them doing things right, so they're on the way to graduate and be a good citizen and be a good person. Because our number one goal is for them to graduate to be the best husbands, fathers, employees, employers once they graduate from our institution. So we hold kids accountable for that, and that we can really dive into that. So we feel like we've created a great culture doing that from our you know, I said we have 93 kids on the team. After our end of the year evaluations, 0 guys went to the portal. 0 guys. You know, so I feel like we're creating a team, a culture, and an opportunity that's second to none. And we're excited about where it's going. And you guys know, like, hey, you know, you guys might have experienced this when you were a freshman in high school and you played varsity. You know, if your whole team basically was kind of freshmen, probably weren't that great, right? Then you got to be sophomores, right? Probably had a little bit more experience, had a little bit more success. Okay. Now, this is our 3rd year. The fall will be our 3rd year. Those will be basically our first recruiting class will be juniors, right? And we got a lot of people coming up from underneath there. We feel like internally we're very excited of where we're going because now we're experienced. Now we know our culture is. Now we know who we are. We know our opponents, and we're very, very excited about the upcoming season. So we're looking to add to that culture. And that's why we're excited that you guys are on there. We're going to have success next year, and we're going to have continued success built on a foundation that, and a philosophy that's repeatable, and also encouraging and enlightening for these guys to have great experiences. How to get an offer. Okay, so, or I should say, there's definitely times where you can come and see, hey, coach, there'll be some offers coming out this spring, right? We encourage you that, hey, you know, you find a place that you want, you know, hey, how do we accept that offer? How you do that is we want you to come see us to accept it, right? Hopefully this has inspired you to be like, oh, that's pretty sweet. Like, compared to some of the other schools, you know, don't compare. I don't know where you guys are all from. You know, like you said, Will's in North Carolina, right? But compare it to some of the other schools, and then say, oh man, I think they got something special going on at whatever place you want to be, and we encourage you to come and see our place, and so that you can really see it, because we feel like if you come and see it and we've offered you, then now, hey, we can accept that offer. You know, hey, he knows everything, he's seen it, boom, we want to accept that offer, and you can be part of it. We feel like if you haven't seen it and you haven't really dove into it, then you might be quick to leave too. So that's our philosophy with that. You can see the camps up there. Those are also on our website. And so hopefully, you know, we got your questions answered. I'm going to check the chat here real quick here. Does anybody have any questions that we didn't cover that I did not see in the chat? I didn't see anything in the chat earlier. Coaches, you might have to help me because I got a weird screen right now. Oh, let me stop sharing. Oh, wait. No, I'm not going to stop sharing. Is there anything, guys? Okay. I'll do my best to try to follow up. Wait, is there something? Okay. Now, Oh, sorry. I don't want to keep sharing that. Okay, go ahead and unmute your mics. Okay. We're going to give a breakdown, meaning we're going to put our hands up. And we're going to get a breakdown. We're going to say, go Skyhawks on 3. Okay. So you guys can unmute your mics. And then you can understand that, hey, we are built by a foundation. And then we build the house on the foundation that's able to withstand tough, adverse situations. And that's what we're built on. So go ahead, Will, unmute your mic, and we're going to get a breakdown. We're going to get out of here. All right, looks like some guys are trying to do it. I don't know if they can.
Can you hear us, Coach?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There's several that are trying to do it. You know, we really appreciate your time. Okay. We thank you guys. We hope that you all become Skyhawks. We really do hope you choose the best school for you. Hopefully that you've seen something of the beautiful situation that we have out here that's going to really like entice you to come see us. Send us your highlight tapes and say you want to be part of it. You know, have a 4 to 5 year career here, do great things as we continue to build this and do excel from where we are to the top. And we really feel like we're a top 5 school with all the opportunities that we have as far as our education, our facilities in Durango, Colorado. With that being said, on the count of 3, we're going to say go Skyhawks. Okay. And then that will be the completion. I want to thank you guys for your time. I really expected you could have chosen to do a lot of things. All right. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Everybody say go Skyhawks. And then I'll let you guys go. Here we go. Avon, I want you to be loud, man. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Go Skyhawks.
Go.
You guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you,
Who's
Coach.
our Lee? Our Lee, 2.